Hello and welcome to episode 298. Right, for this video guys, I've booked onto the linear fisheries complex again. I'm on the last remaining lake that I haven't fished on this bit of the complex yet, and that is Lake 6. I've booked into Peg 11 and I've got 48 hours, or just a little bit more than 48 hours ahead of me actually, because when I booked this on the Go Catch app, there's set start and finish times for this lake, and the fish bosh, and the finish time is 9 a.m. Start time is 10 a.m. so when you book a 48-hour session you only effectively get 47 hours. Because the weather's a bit grey, dismal, damp on Wednesday when it comes to pack up day. I don't want to pack up first thing in the morning when everything's probably still going to be damp and, you know, no one likes packing away damp gear. So I've booked a day session onto Wednesday, so I can take my time basically on Wednesday and packing up. So I've effectively got sort of 3 days 2 nights, but I'm not going to do all 3 days. It's just so I can have a casual pack up on Wednesday when things have dried out basically. Anyway, so Peg 11. Why have I booked Peg 11 when I haven't fished this lake before? So a couple of weeks ago, my good mate Wayne from Wayne's Angling Adventures, check out his channel, he was here across the way in Peg 2. Anyway, when he was here, hardly anyone on the lake was catching, but there was a guy here in Peg 11 that had quite a few fish out. And I was like, oh, I like the look of that. So last week, went on the old Go Catch app, booked up, and here we are. I've also got a little bit of a starting kind of advantage, if you like, because when Wayne finished his session, he actually come round to chat to the chap who was here at the time. Just asked him how he was fishing, where he was fishing, and he said basically at certain points at 13 wraps. So I've already got a little bit of a, you know, a head start of where to start from, which is good. If I can even have one fish this session, guys, I'll be happy. You know, first time on a lake is, you know, it's always good if you can catch a fish. But anyway, that's enough waffling for an intro, guys. As you can see, I'm not fishing. All I've done so far is put the bivvy up and chucked everything under the bivvy because of this grey damp weather. So let's crack on. Let's go fishing. Right then guys, so as I said, I was given some information by Wayne from the angler that I saw in this swim at the time, as I said, and yeah, he must have only been fishing with 2 rods because he gave Wayne information on 2 areas, so naturally they were my first port of calls. So the first one was to aim into a particular tall tree in the distance to the right hand side of Peg 1. I'll put a little arrow on it for you now so you can see it. And sure enough, we're wrapped at 13 wraps, and donk straight down onto a gravel spot. Oh, that's but a couple of pullbacks and then it's into weed, so that's going to be the right hand rod, guys, and there we go, there's the weed that pulled back into. So that's some good information I was given. The second spot I was given was to aimed to about a rod length off of the left hand margin. Now this one took a little bit of marking up to find the spot that I need to go to, but there's a particular slightly taller bush on the left hand margin. Again, I'll put an arrow on it now so you see what I mean. And if I aim to sort of the peak of the particular bush I'm looking at, yeah, it is about a rod length off of the margins and it is nice and clear. If I go any further out, it does go into weed, so I'll just have a little caster and show you. On the money, dunk, lovely jubbly, and oh, yeah, and then whip it back in. And indeed, nice and clear. So some really good information I was given from Wayne from that particular angler. Now, because I am fishing 3 rods, I had to do a bit of marking up to find where I wanted to fish the middle rod. I was picking various tall trees on the horizon, but I've rested on, and it's not going to be far from the right hand. Well, I say not far, it's probably going to be about 3 rod lengths apart at a guess, but there's a particular clump of taller trees in the horizon, and if I aim for the right hand edge of them taller trees, it is nice and clear. It doesn't go down with the same kind of donk as the right hand rod, but it is nice and clear. Everywhere else was quite weedy, so let's aim for that. On the money, dunk. So yeah, nice and clear, but a smooth pullback. So, and then as with the right hand rod, it pulls into a bit of weed. So let's whip it up. And there we go, nice and clear. 3 nice clear spots in amongst a fair bit of weed out there. So thanks to Wayne for getting that information to me, and thanks to that previous angler who was in here a couple of weeks ago that gave Wayne that information. Right, let's all get the rods round the wrap sticks, and keeping all 3 rods at 13 wraps will make it nice and easy for excuse me, will make it nice and easy for when it comes to spodding at some bait later on. Right then guys, hopefully you'll see this this footage because I'm filming on a new camera. I've got a DJI Osmo Pocket. Again, thanks to Wayne, because he had one. I was like, oh, I like the look of that. So this is my first time using it, so hopefully you will get to see this footage. Right, rods are now set up and at 13 wraps. Just setting up the rigs. Oh, and the good thing about this camera, it can follow you around. How about that then guys? If I come over here, hey. Or if I come over here, hey. But yes, anyway, right, the rigs I am using. So, 2 videos ago at the Islands Cut Fishery, you saw me trying the old shot on the hook rig for the first time after the popularity of the quarter underwater video. Unfortunately, I didn't catch anything that session, as you will remember. So, I'm going to give it a go again. So also I'm going to use three different baits. So I'm going to use pop-ups on one rig, hardened dumbbells bottom baits on one rig, wafters which are white on another rig. So when I set these rigs up and tried them at the Islands Carp Fishery, I did a little YouTube short and I'd set them up on pop-ups. So basically the hook set up like that on the deck, sort of, and I'd quite a few people were going, no, you're not meant to use pop-ups on that rig, you're meant to use wafters or bottom mates. Disclaimer, as long as you set up a safe rig, you can do what you want. I'll do what I want, so, you know, I don't want to hear moaning going, you've used the wrong hook bait on that rig, blah 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 blah. I don't care. As long as the rig is safe, I'll do what I want. So there. So, just to shut the naysayers up, I will do one bottom bait, one wafter, and I'll stick to one pop-up, and we'll compare and see how they go. Right, so there's the rig, guys. Short Gemini boom, wide gape hook, and there's the obviously the bit that gives the rig its name, the shot on the hook. Right, I'm going to get them set up and then hopefully get fishing. We're coming up to midday, so we're sort of 2 hours past the time I could get in my swim, so hopefully in the next half hour I will be fishing. Literally just a few minutes after 12 and we're all rigged up and ready to go, guys. So I'm going to start off on the right hand rod, do the middle and the left rod. So the right hand rod has got the bottom bait dumbbell on. Gonna keep to the bottom baits on that rod because that's the spot that was most clear, so I feel that's the spot that would most suit the bottom bait. Apologies if there's lots of wind noise on here, the wind is just picking up and blowing right in my face. Right guys, and third and final rod, and obviously the pop-up, even though according to some people, oh that's so wrong, but anyway, this is the one that's going to that margin to my left. Again, just a little bit too close. When I was leading around, that's where there was weed. That's the one. Right guys, so I've just had some lunch and now's the time to put a bit of bait out in my swim. You've seen how I normally fish. I normally go out for sort of 3 nights and I normally do the kind of first 24 hours as singles or PVA bags. But because I've only got 48 hours this session, I'm going to put bait out straight away, try and feed my swim. Not going to do too much. Roy, the bailiff, just come round not long ago. Not Roy, is it Roy? George, anyway, one of the bailiffs just come round and said this lake was busy at the weekend, every swim was full, because lakes, well, all the other lakes on the farm are closed at the moment because of high water levels, because of all the rain we've had recently. It's only Lake 6 that is open at the moment, so yeah, so it is Monday, so someone must have been in here yesterday potentially putting bait out. So how much bait they put out, who knows. So I'm going to put a few spods out per rod. So in the buckets down there I've got one a particle, one a pellet, and I've got one of the new quarter buckets as well with the 4 different tubes in, and I've got one of the tubes out that's just got some boilies in. So I'll do a sort of couple of particle, couple of pellet, one a boilie in each on each rod. So yeah, I'm already wrapped up to 13 wraps, so crack on. Right, in an effort to keep the blog a little bit shorter, guys, I'll do these next 2 rods off the camera, but I'm going to do the same amount on each of them 2 rods. So 2 a particle, 2 a pellet, 1 a boilie. And guys, we are pretty much dead on 6 PM now, and I've just wound all the rods in, put fresh hook baits on all the rigs for going into the night. I know it's not quite night yet at 6 PM, but I want to settle down, cook my tea. By the time I've done that, we're going to start losing the light, and I wanted to put fresh hook baits on before I start faffing around with me dinner. So same spots obviously, yeah, and the same hook baits. The only difference is I've got some booster spray of the seafood, so I just give all the hook baits earlier on a little spray into the pots just to give them all a bit of an added boost. So I've already done the other 2 rods. This is the 3rd and final rod to go back out. My casting is rubbish this session. That was about 6 foot wide of the mark. Much better. Right guys, so that is it. All the rods refreshed with new updates for the evening. Voyager coming into land at Bryce Norton. So that's it. I'll leave the camera pointing at the swim for as long as possible to try and get a run on film. But yeah, getting cold, so it won't be long before I'll be putting the camera away, to be fair. So if I don't see you in the night, guys, fingers crossed I will. I'll see you in the morning, but hopefully the night. There we go. Good morning, guys. And it is almost morning, couple more hours and it'll be daylight. About 5 o'clock, roughly. We're not blanking, we have a blank saver. Oh, there's me water. So, left hand rod on the pop-up. Hey, I'm glad that one went, because that's the one when I'd done a YouTube short. Several people went, that's the way, that's not meant, look, not meant to be the way you set it out there. So for those of you that said that, this one's for you. Right, this one isn't going to break any records in weight, but it might break some records for its scale pattern. Absolutely cracking fish. There you go, guys. What do you reckon to that? 14 pound on the nose. And yeah, might not be the biggest fish, but she certainly is pretty. And I'm happy. That's a mid-double. Because it also means my first time on Lake 6 and I haven't blanked. So, out of all the Taff Farm lakes, the only lake that I've blanked on now is Lake 7, so I'll have to go back there sometime. But yeah, absolutely cracking looking fish, guys. What do you reckon? So as I said, left hand rod, first fish I've ever caught on the shot on the hook rig. So yeah, it does work, even with a pop-up. So yeah, awesome, we're not blanking. Brilliant. Right, let's get a few pictures and get her back. Happy, happy. And if we get another one, it might be a bit bigger. Good morning, guys. Now that's a lot better. Now the blank's out the way. Glasses are filthy. Yeah, now blank's out the way, we can build on that. And yeah, I'm glad it come on the rig that had the pop-up on it for, you know. Anyway, Today's a new day. Oh, I managed to get a couple of hours sleep again. Managed to get back in my bag. By the time I'd got back in, got the fish back, uploaded the photos to Facebook, everything, and it was already becoming daylight. So yeah, I managed to pull the sleeping bag over my head and get a couple more hours sleep. I need to wind in shortly anyway, because I need to go and have a walk up to the cabin of doom, and then we'll put fresh hook baits on all the rods, and I might put pop-ups on them all again now, just because I can. So wow, I don't know if you'd have seen, a fish has just boshed out right out in front of peg 12, or probably to the left of peg 12. But yeah, anyway, I don't know how much filming I'm going to be able to get done today, if any, because we've got a bit of light rain at the moment, but we're forecast some rain most of the day today, guys, so depending on how heavy it gets or what, depends on how much filming I'll do. Obviously if I get a fish, I'll have to film from inside the bivvy and have the unhooking mat out here somewhere. But yeah, I'm just happy the blank's out the way. First time on Lake 6, blank's out the way. So yeah, I'm happy now, because apart from Lake 7, I've caught on all the Tar Farm lakes now, so. Right then guys, so just going to sort out my rigs to get fishing again for the day. But I need to change the hooks on all the rigs, because the hooks that was on there was those one more cast hooks. What were they called? I can't remember what they were called now. But yeah, they're all blunt, and I don't just mean a little bit blunt. I mean badly blunt. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be buying any more of Aliamides one more cast hooks, because there's not even a slight point to them anymore. That other hooks I use, when they go blunt, they just kind of lose their edge. But it's, oh hang on, there we go, get it in shot, there we go. It's not even really penetrating the skin anymore, which is no good for fishing. We're using the little DJI Osmo Pocket again to film this bit, because it's raining. You can probably hear the rain now. So yeah, so I'm going to change all the hooks. I have got one more of Aliamides hooks, which are still sharp, so we'll use that one for as long as it lasts, however long that'll be. But then the other two rigs will go to some conventional wide gape hooks. And when the rigs do go back out, we will stick with the pop-ups on one rod, because that's what's caught our fish so far. And then on the other two rods, I thought I'll change it up and have something a bit more high visual. So obviously we started the session on a bottom bait, a wafter and a pop-up. Because we've caught now on a pop-up, I'll do a second rod on a pop-up, but a yellow one. That's a beaten Anna. and then the other rod will still have a wafter on it. That's the seafood. So yeah, a few little changes, mainly the hooks. I'm shocked at how badly blunted they are. But anyway, I wanna be able to save the shot on hook, because they're like rubber, the bit you hook them on with, and because these are micro barbed hooks, I'm not going to be able to get them off. So hopefully my clips, I'll be able to cut the hook and yeah, slide everything off. So yeah, this is taking me a bit longer than I thought it was going to, guys, but yeah, hey ho, it is what it is. Right, and the last one. There we go. We can slide the hook beat off and save the shot. Right guys, I'm going to crack on with this. I've already waffled on about what I'm doing too long. Right, I'll catch up with you probably when, well, yeah, maybe when one of the rods are going out because of the rain. Right, and guys, so we've got a little break in the rain. So while I've got the opportunity, I'm going to put some more bait out just to top up the spots. I don't know how long this little break in the rain is going to last for, because the forecast is that we've got rain all day up to about 6 o'clock this evening. So yeah, I don't want to get particularly wet and cold. So if I can do the baiting up for today now, then that works very well for me. So the plan is to put out the same amount of bait as I did yesterday, so a couple of pellet, a couple of particle and a spom of boilie over each rod. I was hoping to get some drone shots as well. While I'm on this session, because again I've been given permission by the fishery to fly me drone, but with this weather I don't think it's going to be possible. And you might say, well, it's stopped raining, do it now. It's far too windy to get the drone up. Might not look windy immediately in front of me, because these trees to my left are giving a nice little bit of shelter to my immediate swim, but no, once you get up there it's a different story. There we go, there's an indication of the wind. That one landed right in the middle of my middle and right hand rods. So even once the spawn gets high enough, that's enough for the wind to make it drift. So we will do another one, aiming for the middle rod. Better. Right guys, as I said, I'm going to continue this. The rest will be off camera, but you know, just doing an update of what I'm doing. There is still some fine rain in the air, so put my camera back away and hopefully I can get it out again for a fish later on. Alright guys, here we go. Fish number 2. Good timing, the rain was just easing off. It's sort of almost stopped now. There's still a bit of a light rain in the air. But we've got fish number 2. I think I must be on pasty watch this session because this one's smaller than the last fish. Not a scaly either, but it's another score on the board. £10, 2 ounces this one. So, you know, I'll happily keep catching them like this all day long if it means I'm still catching. So this was on the right hand rod on the yellow pop-up. Oh. Another one on the way you're not meant to set them up apparently. So have a look at that side and we'll get some photos. There we go, lovely little fish. Awesome. Right, let's get a few photos and we'll get it back. Right guys, quick evening update because it is still raining, really fine rain, so apologies for any smears on the camera lens, but just doing a quick evening update. As you can see, I've got one of my rods in my hand, which is my middle rod, the only rod that's not caught a fish yet. It's also the rod that's only been fishing wafters this session, and obviously it hasn't had a fish yet. So I've changed it to a pop-up, and then hopefully this rod can do a fish as well, and I'm getting more blobs of rain on my camera lens, so we'll get this out as quick as possible and then I can get my camera away, and then we won't have any more updates tonight unless any fish come along. But I'm also going to refresh the hook bait on the left rod after this with another pop-up. I'm not going to touch the right rod because that had a fresh hook bait on it a couple of hours ago after that last fish. So, right, let's get this out. Good morning everyone, and a quiet night we had last night, apart from the swans in the distance making a retreat from my swim, occasionally bumping into my lines. Yeah, that's what made me get out of bed this morning. They've just been through my swim at my lines again. Hey ho. Oh, I tell you what, absolutely bloomin' freezing this morning. Wind in my face, we've just had a rain shower, everything soaking wet. Oh, and I'm so glad I had the foresight to tag on a day session onto my session today, because these sessions here start at 10 AM and they end at 9 AM. So if you book a session, you actually get 23 hours. If you book 2 days, you get 47 hours. And pack up time is 9 o'clock. I've only just gone at my bed and it's 20 to 9 now. So you can imagine, especially this time of year, like I say, we've just had a rain shower, everything is soaking wet, it's cold, I haven't got the energy to actually do anything yet. So yeah, so glad I tagged on a day session so I can have a, you know, a casual pack up during the course of the day. I'm only probably going to fish to sort of lunchtime, maybe just after lunchtime. Hopefully by then this bit of wind that's blowing might have dried my bivvy off and everything. The front area of my bivvy is a bit soggy. I'm still fishing my bivvy open fronted because I like to see everything out in front of me, but I think it's getting to that time where maybe I need to put the front on my bivvy. But, right, what's the plans for the next few hours? Do I leave them? Do I wind them in and put some fresh hook baits on for the last few hours? Yeah, not sure. I'll make up my mind in due course. Right then guys, so I am putting fresh hook baits on the rods. Gotta admit, I wasn't going to. The plan was to just leave them, you know, minimal disturbance on the water, all that malarkey. But as my good friend Mafty would say, I had to go and visit the ablutions, so I had to wind in the rods anyway. So, oh, well, one more cast hook is still sharp. That's a surprise. So, because it's daytime and we had some success with yellow in the day yesterday, we're going to put yellow hook baits on for the last few hours of fishing, which is good because of the beaten arnott. I've only got 3 left. Right, so what's my plan? When they go back out, obviously we'll put a rod each on the spots that I've already caught from. Because the wind is blowing this way, I haven't seen anything showing in front of me for the last 24 hours. But when I did, there was fish boshing out towards the middle of the lake, towards peg 2, the peg that Wayne was fishing when he was here a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, when I was just down at the facilities, there's a guy in peg 8. He just had one about half an hour ago. So yeah, my feeling is with this wind direction, the fish have gone down the other side of the other end of the lake. So we'll put one on the spot where I had the fish from yesterday. We'll put one on the spot where I had from a fish on the first night, and then the other rod, I'm just going to pub chuck it as far as I can into the middle of the lake, off to my right, and basically just hope for the best on a pub chuck. Because when the fish were showing, that was where they was showing. Oh. So we'll get these rods back out, have some breakfast. There are some more people turning up now. A couple of lads have just turned up and gone into peg 7. My good friends, the line bleepers, come to join me. Right, anyway, let's crack on and do this. Try not to drag the blog out too long. It must be a bit shorter. It must be. As normally when I do sessions, I normally get through 2 camcorder batteries. And there's only a few hours of the session left, and I'm still on my first battery with half of its power left. Oh, take the safety cap off, that would help, wouldn't it? Right, there's one done. Let's get the other 2 done. The 2 rods that are going to go back out onto their spots already clipped up at the 13 wraps. I did that before I went to the loo. Right, let's crack on with it. Got a 3rd and final rod to go out. Yellow hook baits on, which I think are a better option in the daytime here, because this is the shallowest lake on the Tar Farm complex. It averages 5 to 6 foot all the way through without much deviation. There are slightly shallower and slightly deeper, but it's mostly 5 to 6 foot. That's twisted, not anymore. But so yeah, this is the last roll of the dice, guys. Get this rod out, have some breakfast, start packing up the non-essentials. As I said, yeah, this is the shallowest lake on the Tar Farm, which and the water's fairly clear as well, so yellow hook baits, the fish can probably see better, which is probably why I had the fish on the yellow in the day, but on the seafood, which is a dark hook bait, a bit more pungent. That's probably why that one worked at the night. That's my theory anyway. Right, let's get this back out on that spot. Normally I'd be happy with that cast close to the reeds, but in this case I need to be about a rod length from the reeds to be in the clear spot. and that one's about 6 foot too far the other way. As you can see, I'm not the best caster in the world, guys, but these things need to be spot on when you're fishing in a lake with weed. That's better. Right then guys, that's it, more or less packed up now. We are down to just rods on the ground, one landing net, and that's it, then we're all packed up. So very glad I made that conscious decision to book the extra day session so I could get packed up casually during today, and that's meant I've been able to get everything packed away dry, which is a bonus. So, Lake 6, what do I think? Very nice lake. First time fishing it, and I had 2 fish out, so I can't complain at that. Alright, I didn't get any of the big ones, but you can't control what picks up your bait at the end of the day. So thanks to my mate Wayne, who gave me the information about the spots where to fish from that lad who was here when he was here, and it was those 2 spots that done me the fish. So brilliant work, thanks a lot Wayne. If you was that guy that chatted to my mate at the time, also thanks to you. Right, gonna get the rods in, that's it. Not sure where or when I'll be fishing again. Might just be a day session for the next video for episode 299, and then for episode 300 got something a bit special coming up. Right, till next time, tight lines, wet nets, and enjoy fishing.